Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Creator's Outlet. Please subscribe, comment, and share. And for our podcast listeners, please join us over at Creator's Outlet on YouTube so you can see all the cool images of all the stuff that you have no idea what we're talking about because we're looking at pictures and you're not. Welcome back, Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon to the show.
Hello, man.
What's going on? How are you?
We are busy.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Yeah, like she said, we are freaking busy. But you know what? Never too busy to not have time to stop over and talk to you, man.
Awesome. So we were talking a little bit backstage. I'm reading. I got everything from Isildur and beyond in the last campaign. I've put the main cover aside, so when I finish, I can actually read the last chapter, the special edition,
yes.
The homage to your friend. Went in a box with all my indies. I've got like a big giant magazine box that's nothing but indie and crowdfunded books. So,
and it sounds good to me. However you want to read it is good as long as you're partaking, man.
I'm partaking, and that's both of those trades. Captain Harlock, the Classics Volume 1 hardcover, and a couple of newer floppies that I was checking out. One was from Ryland Grant. Are on the left side of my bed, so
yeah, I
have something to read. I will have. I've been out without a recliner for over 2 months now, which is usually my reading spot.
Aww.
Did you just say we're your bedtime reading?
Not that kind of bedtime reading.
No, not that kind of bedtime reading.
That's okay. My to read pile is
is
very, very long. It just keeps growing. Books and comics from.
Well, that was my problem. Is I had an end table next to my old recliner, and there were like 4 stacks of comics, and they just kept getting higher and higher, to the fact that I forgot anything that was underneath. I had to go through the entire stacks and move everything. But without the recliner, I either had the wheelchair or I'm back in bed. So I do what I have to do work-wise on the computer, and come out and have breakfast and lunch. And the rest of the time I've just been chilling in bed. But my new recliner's coming Thursday, so
good.
Woo-hoo.
Well, there you go.
A brand new one, and hey, I didn't pay for it, so it's even better.
Can't fight against free.
So, tell us what is happening with this new project, the Misfits Clubhouse.
So, Misfits Clubhouse is a very big step to the left or to the right for us. But then again, if you know us well, it's a step that you would have expected us to take a long time ago. We do steampunk and medieval fantasy and death metal. We do all kinds of stuff like that. But Steph and I, at heart, one of the things that made us start to work together is we both are completely silly individuals. We both are like, how silly can we get? How much can we laugh? And one thing we did not have in our arsenal was something where we could just be like, you know what, where can we have a silly outlet? Where can we have an outlet that just allows us to tell silly little one-off stories, one-shot stories? And that's basically what Misfits Clubhouse is. The catchphrase that we have on the Kickstarter campaign is, if Gravity Falls, Wreck-It Ralph and the Fairly Odd Parents were neighbors on a cul-de-sac, the Misfits Clubhouse will be right next door. We're not saying that this is going to be like a carbon copy of any of those, but if you're somebody that's into those, Wreck-It Ralph is a darn good movie. That's a fun movie. There's actually some good depth to it, but you don't have to feel like you're going to be weighed down by all of life's troubles when you watch Wreck-It Ralph or when you watch those things. That's kind of how Misfits Clubhouse is.
Yeah, it looks like you're putting the fun back in funny books. So not everything has to be, an epic, 10-year tale of anything. You can just have something enjoyable.
Well, one of the things that we have said often, and when we first decided to actually form an LLC, we said we're going to be called In-Symmetry Creations. We're not going to be In-Symmetry Comics or In-Symmetry Steampunk or anything that is going to back us into a corner where we are beholden to one genre, one thing, one creative outlet. We want to be able to produce whatever we want to produce and whenever it makes sense. So, yeah, it's we always want to have fun, and we still feel like even with Heirs of Isildur and Tales from Nocturne, those are still fun titles, even though they might deal with heavier subject matter. But one of the common themes that we would get when we would be at a show and we would have a parent come up with their kit, they would say, what do you have for them? And we'd say, well, these titles work, but this is more, Heirs doesn't have a single curse word in the entire series. We say it's more YA just because it deals with a little bit more heavier subject matter or just something that might go over a younger kid's head. We want to be able to have something at the table that a parent and their kid and their 90-year-old grandmother, all three could enjoy all the same. And so that's why we decided to do Misfits Clubhouse.
And it is doing quite well.
It's doing well, yeah.
There's always the better.
Yes.
But you're at the very beginning of it now, so
this is our sixth campaign, and we have steadily increased with each one we've done. So we knew that this was going to be a little bit different. This isn't our big, huge, crazy, leather dragon mask and vinyl and metal, and this is a little bit of a different departure than what we're normally doing. So we've had to kind of get acclimated to that a little bit. But that doesn't mean that it's not fun. Doesn't mean that we don't have fun offerings, which we'll talk about tonight, I'm sure. But yeah, we're doing well, and we've really appreciated the support, and people seem excited. So that's always good.
This image reminds me that I saw this video over the weekend where this guy took and made a custom wagon, but it's a drivable wagon. Nice. It is a full size. It's a radio flyer, and it's got the whole thing on it, and the very back of it has the drop down staircase, and it's completely open, so it's complete convertible. It even has the pull handle at the front. You can actually lower it down and put it back up. And it's kind of like a giant banana buggy from the Banana Splits, but it's a radio flyer wagon. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Yes.
I go, I want one. I can't drive anymore, but I still want one.
Yeah, one of the things about this image, that's an image that our main artist, Raheel Mosin, drew at the request of Richard Rivera, who is the editor and our main contact at Scout Comics, the Scoot imprint. Richard, he really wanted something that just showed, what's a way we can show just the fun, the wagon image of our kids in the wagon, and you see that there's Miki and Stig, and then Fairy and Sloth, who are a ferret and a sloth. So right off the bat, that this is not your typical fare if two of the kids in the wagon are a ferret and a sloth. But it really shows everything in that. You see that they're having fun. You see their you see their wagon. You see their clubhouse in the background up in the tree in the back of Miki's backyard. And you can feel the fun that's happening with these kids, and that, hey, if their wagon is going to be taking them to the moon, what else is going to happen with these guys?
Yeah, it's something different. I remember, Steph, you had another project with Scoot not too long ago, didn't you?
Well, so the way that it worked was Scoot has an all ages, kind of like a magazine style that they're doing called Frontiers. And the very first issue of that came out in August. And Misfits Clubhouse, the very first story of Misfits Clubhouse was in that. And we're going to kind of continue on. But that was Matt and I's, first avenue into the world of Scoot. But yeah, so Frontiers is, if anybody's familiar with Highlights for Kids, when you were a kid, if you read that, it's similar to that in style, that there's a bunch of short stories from different creators, and then there are puzzles and games, crossword puzzles, word searches. There's just different activities for kids to do. It's a little bit bigger size than a standard comic. And the response so far has been really great with Frontiers. So we're really, really excited to be a part of that.
And the response was actually so good from Frontiers that we sat down and said, you know what, even though we know we're intending on being in Frontiers and each one of the issues, because that's going to be a periodical, it's going to happen 3 to 4 times a year. We knew that Misfits Clubhouse needed to have its own standalone issue as soon as possible because there was enough positive feedback from it that we need to be able to have have its own logo on a front cover of a comic so people can have it out there and hold just Misfits Clubhouse in their hands.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm feeling even older now with the reference to highlights.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I'm looking around, feeling like I was in my pediatrician's office again.
Exactly.
I like to say if Mad Magazine was all ages. So like if Highlights for Kids or Mad Magazine, which every one of us still reads Mad Magazine from time to time, that's kind of where I would put Frontiers in, where there's a lot of, it goes anywhere from entry-level reading up to some YA titles that are in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a whole smorgasbord of different titles that are in that Frontiers for Kids.
And I saw, because I've gotten a couple of the Scout boxes, and I have not won anything in the Scout boxes except what I have paid for. But I have noticed that their regular Scoot titles are actually cheaper than their regular books.
Yeah, one of the things that they do with Scoot is they make sure if it's an ongoing series, they have the ongoing series as $1.99 to get into the title. Then they have graphic novels after that. If it is a title that's got one shots, where it's just one shots that are coming out, then it's $3.99 for those one shots. But yeah, they want to make it affordable so that way, kids can get, or comics can get into kids' hands. I know with Frontiers, it's a $10 magazine, but it's a 72-page full-size magazine style, so that's why it's a higher price.
Yeah.
But they try to make sure that the Scoot titles are going to be more affordable to be able to get that title into somebody's hands, so they can see if they like it and see if they want to continue on with that IP.
Yeah, because I don't know many young kids that have $10 for a title to walk into their local comic shop. I'm like, it's, man, I miss the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, and I could say too, one of the ways that we look at Misfits Clubhouse to build on what you just said is, we don't ever want somebody to look at it and go, oh, that thing is literally just for kids. If I'm older than 8 years old, then it's below my reading level or my comprehension level or my ability to be able to escape into the title. We say it's designed so everybody can enjoy it. It's not going to be too highbrow where a little kid's not going to understand it, but it's not going to be so dumbed down that a adult is going to look at it and be like, yeah, well, that's below me. That's Blue's Clues or any of that kind of nonsense. We definitely, it's an animated story that anybody can get into. Before we got on, we talked about Wreck-It Ralph. We talked about Fairly Odd Parents. We talked about Gravity Falls. But if you look at the animated movies like Toy Story or Wreck-It Ralph, those things are enjoyed by kids and adults alike. I mean, adults nowadays want to go back into their childhood and watch those movies like Toy Story and Wreck-It Ralph and things like that. We want to make sure that they feel like there is a connection there to them, just like the kid is going to feel there's a connection as well.
Yeah. It's almost like the Looney Tunes montage, where when we were younger, they were hilarious, and when we got older, they were still hilarious, but we got more of the jokes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's got something for everybody.
Absolutely right. And for us with this, it's not so much like there's not going to be like double entendres and things like that. It's more so you can understand the spirit behind it. Like for instance, in issue number 1 of Misfits Clubhouse, the main arc story, there's going to be 2 stories in it, but the main arc story that's in there is called Pinball Madness. And the kids are upset because they can't go outside and play because there's a big lightning storm outside. And the dad's like, hey, you want to, you kids want to go into the garage? We can look at some of the stuff that's in there. Some of my old collectibles. And one of the things he has in there is a pinball machine. And as an adult, most of us can remember a time where we would go to the arcade and we would play the games, or we would, someplace, a pizza parlor would have a pinball machine in there and you go play it. So right off the bat, there's going to be a connection there. I love pinball. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm like the world's biggest expert on pinball, but I definitely have played a lot. One of my favorite arcade games ever is Bride of Pinbot, because it was one of the first games in the heyday in the late 80s, early 90s, where you actually saw a pinball machine react like a video game would, where there was actually a whole section in the top of Bride of Pinbot where once you escalated in level in the game, the whole top of the machine would turn like a cube and bring a different version of the play table up there. And I'm like, I thought that was really cool that they were able to do that. And so we wanted to bring some of that fun into the issue where an adult's going to relate and be like, yeah, man, I remember back in the day when I'd go back and play pinball, and man, I wish I had a pinball machine in my garage like that dude does. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of where we try to merge the two worlds together there.
Yeah, that just makes me think that, oh yeah, my cousin's husband has a pinball machine in their basement. Drat. He's a big NASCAR fan, so it's a NASCAR pinball machine, but and he brought it back to life because it was damaged and dilapidated, so he had restored it over like the last 10 years or so.
I'll tell you, if anybody ever wanted to just be like the super nicest person in the world, they wanted to buy me a Bride of Pinbot, I wouldn't turn it down. I don't know where the heck I'd put it, but I sure as heck do not have $8,000 to go buy a Bride of Pinbot. But
well, Christmas is coming. Matt would love a Bride of Pinbot right after you pledge to Misfits Clubhouse.
That's exactly
that's right.
That's the way to say it. I like that.
I love it.
Or you could pledge $8,000 to the campaign, and that way Matt doesn't have to worry about where to put a pinball machine.
Yeah, we definitely would not say no to that as well.
You just have to put in the liner for pinball machine only, because I don't know if I'd be able to slide that past stuff and be like, hey, we got to take this money from the campaign and buy a pinball machine for me.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would work. But right now, you've got a goal set of 3,000, and you're already at 2,477 with 18 days to go and 45 backers.
Yeah, like I said, it's running a little different than our other campaigns would, but we knew that going in. When you've got a fan base that's been developed over years, where you've got, like I said, steampunk and time travel and medieval, and we just did the metal albums, as you well know, and Steph being a horror writer herself and doing reviews in the horror movie world. There's not a lot of bleed over. There's not a lot of bridging from those into what this kind of title is. On the surface, we think that the title can stand right beside Heirs and Nocturnia without any issue. But it's not like you're going to think, going, yeah, man, that's cool. There's killing and death and swords and dragons and blah. There's not that. So it's a different kind of energy for a title like this.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Apparently, when I was 8, I had hair kind of like Stig. Completely out of control, going wherever it wanted, and except mine was red, but and now it is non-existent. But
oddly enough, and it wasn't even on purpose, it just sort of wound up that way. Almost all the characters have some sort of distinctive feature with their hair, but that wasn't intentionally planned ahead of time. The only character that we knew that we were going to do anything particular with their hair was Miki. We knew that she was going to have big, crazy curly hair. No idea where the concept for curly hair came from, but but Stig's hair, we just thought, we want to give him a little bit of, that was sort of like an amalgamation of our thoughts and Rahil's thoughts. And then somewhere along the line, when we were concepting out Sloth, Matt said, we were looking at pics of sloths, and some of them, the way that their fur would be, it almost looked like they had like a little bowl cut. And so we said, well, it'll be hilarious if we give Sloth a bowl cut and have that be a feature.
Sloth's proud of that bowl cut.
Sloth loves his haircut. So so there's that. So yeah, and then we have Fairy. So Fairy is almost always in a hoodie, so he could have distinctive hair, and maybe we just don't even know because it's just hidden underneath that hoodie. But yeah, that's his kind of trademark thing. Is he's always in that little red hoodie, and those are character descriptions that go over just gives you a little bit of idea of who these kids are and what they're all about. And like we said earlier, two of their friends are a ferret and a sloth, and there's never any discussion about the fact that they're animals, that they're different than the kids. They're all just friends that hang out in this world that's completely normal. The parents, no fairy and sloth. There's no, what are you guys doing with these animals following you around? Nothing like that. They're just their friends in the neighborhood, and we just leave it at that.
Kind of like Charlie Brown and Snoopy, or Mickey Mouse and Goofy. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
My LCS used to have a pet ferret for a mascot years ago.
It was funny too, because when we were first concepting out this idea, we said, okay, what kind of silly animals, we didn't want them to just have a dog or a cat, which, we're animal lovers, but we wanted something a little bit different. And we just said the first two that came to Matt said, what's the first animal that comes to mind? And so I said ferret, and he said sloth, and that was what we went with. That
was probably one of the easiest story decisions we've ever made, because I was just like, quick, what's the silliest animal you can think of? She's like, ferret. I was like, good, we have a ferret in this story. Let's go with it. And we never looked back.
And you said sloth because you wanted an animal you could easily catch.
I'm telling you what, that's right. I think sloths just have that certain kind of personality that are just so easy to be able to. There's always got to be someone that's the comic relief, and they always can play that kind of oafy kind of character. But with our sloth, he's a very intelligent person. He's just not very confident in his abilities if he has to do anything besides think, because he's not fast. He's just the typical sloth. So there's times he has to, kind of step out of his comfort zone and try a little bit more than what he normally would in his methodical ways. And, we could have some fun, with him when it comes to putting him in some ridiculous situations like that.
So then, of course, you have the clubhouse, which is where they go to meet every day. It's in Mickey's backyard, and that is their hangout spot. That's where they congregate. And in this particular story, oddly enough, they can't go into the clubhouse because it's raining and it's storming, as Matt mentioned earlier. So they have to think outside the box, literally and figuratively, to come up with something fun to do for the day. But the clubhouse is, obviously, with the title Misfits Clubhouse, the clubhouse is a central location for these kids, but won't be the only location for them.
Especially while it's raining out.
Yes.
So there's a couple of pages from the story. And one of the things that we like to say, to these kids, in life, we know we're like, hey, you need to calm down a little bit. Don't make such a big deal about everything. To them, we take it and go the absolute opposite way. Remember when you were a kid, everything was such a big deal. And if you look at the first panel on that page, there's lightning outside, it's raining, and they are just wailing.
It's the end of the world.
It is the end of the world. Oh, crumb bums. I wanted to play in the clubhouse so bad. Just wanted to make it be such a big deal. But we go from them having that nice discussion with Miki's dad over to the intergalactic space worm. That's a little bit later on in the story. And you have to be able to read the issue to be able to find out how they go from that to be able to trying to save themselves from the clutches and the guts and the innards of the intergalactic space worm there.
But the intergalactic space worm just automatically makes me think of the trash compactor scene from Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, the fun thing was we were talking with Raheel about it, and we started talking about this idea for the space worm, and I think we were all trying to get on the same page for what we were imagining. And I said, well, think Dune or Star Wars. And so once I said that, it was like a done deal for Raheel. He knew exactly we were on the same page. We were thinking the same thing.
Well, and the thing too that's been really neat with Raheel, because Raheel's in India, and one of the things that was neat was there are things culturally that we take for granted that we just expect that everyone across the planet has had the same cultural experiences. And when we presented this story to Raheel, he was like, guys, I've never really played pinball before. It's just not a thing where he's at. And so we had to go back to square one and educate him on the play table and bumpers and flippers and extra players and things like that, extra balls. And so it was neat seeing him take our interpretation of what we were trying to tell him and him say, okay, I hear what these guys want. What do I see? What would make that fun? So it was almost like he was seeing the pinball machine through his own childlike mind's eye. So when he was drawing it, it really was inspired by his basic understanding of the things we were telling him.
Well, and it was fun too, because right around the time that we were first doing the first bit of art for this, we had a comic show in a mall. And in this mall, there was like one area of it that was real, like just all kinds of entertainment stuff. There was a movie theater and there was an arcade. It was like an arcade and a bar type of thing. And so after the show, we went there, ate, and then we walked through the arcade, and there was about 5 or so pinball machines. And we actually played them and took video of them, of us playing them, and then videos like centered on the actual pinball machine. And we sent them to Raheel, and we thought, you know what, this is absolutely necessary for work right now. We have to do this.
Business
and
trip.
it was like, how many people can say they had to play pinball machines for their, for what they're doing? So it was tough, but we managed.
Yeah, there's a movie theater that I used to go to by the in the mall, what used to be a mall.
Yeah.
Remember malls?
Yeah, exactly.
My friends and I used to hang out there and get yelled at because one of us would take off without the other ones being in the car, and they'd hop on the roof of the Camaro, and it would just so happen that the local constabulary would be pulling up behind you with lights on as you tried to pull out and do this stupid thing. But they rebuilt the theater where it used to be, got demolished, and they built like a brand new one. It's a real nice one, and they ended up adding like a small arcade, a small bowling alley, and a bar, specifically, I guess, for us dads, and and the moms too, because
and moms,
because stress is stress, and
yeah.
So kids, you go bowl. We'll be watching you.
Yeah,
from
mom and
here.
dad are gonna go watch from afar.
And I had a good time. When my daughter was little, I used to take her there all the time, and she keeps reminding me that I'm not 8 anymore. And I go, I know.
Yeah.
I can get my license in 4 years. Stop talking. But this is pretty cool, because I backed another campaign a few months ago that was called Cookies and Scream, that is reminiscent of this, where it's kind of like an all ages thing, and it was kind of like Girl Scouts, but not the Girl Scouts, but they still had like the cookie drive, the infamous cookie sale drive.
Yes.
And this girl had a very peculiar pet, and she got the worst route out of all of them, where she had to sell her cookies on the wrong side of the track, where all the werewolves and monsters and ghosts live. So the name of the title was Cookies and Scream, and
I love that. That's awesome.
It was something like this. It was something my daughter wanted, so I got it, because she's doing her art, and now is telling me, you should really get me the best iPad for my Wacom tablet. I'm like, you have a Wacom tablet? She's like, uh-huh. I'm like, oh dear.
Well, if you scroll back up a little bit, this issue actually does have 2 different stories in it. The second one, which is going to be shorter, but it's going to be the second story, is called Dress Up, Mess Up.
Oh, cool.
And
seasonally appropriate.
Seasonally appropriate, but it's the kind of thing that, for people like us, dressing up happens all year round. So we don't really care if it's October or March. We dress up every time we do a show. So, that's part of our daily routine. But Dress Up, Mess Up is where in this issue, people have a chance to get drawn in. We've actually had about half of those tiers taken so far. Nice. And it obviously takes place at Halloween. And the kids are super stoked about being able to go out there and dress up. One of the friends is feeling a little like that area where, like, am I too old to be dressing up for Halloween? And the kids have to try and convince him that it's okay to still go out there and have fun like that. But we have some fun ideas for how we're going to incorporate the real world human beings involved in the into that dress up mess up story. Anyone that has seen what we've done when it comes to drawing people in, we've done it all the way back to 2018 with Heirs of Isildur issue 7. We just had the anniversary of that issue actually being released the other day, and there was like 30 people drawn into that issue, but we just did that for fun. Since then, it's been a monetized thing through our Kickstarter campaigns, an incentive item. But we're gonna have fun with it, and people know when they get drawn into our comics that we're gonna have some fun with it, and it's not just gonna be a normal cameo in the background unless we tell you that. Otherwise, be ready, because we're gonna do something silly to you, and you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, well then you need to figure it out, because it's gonna be fun.
You need to go back to the bar and read it again, because it's fun.
Yeah. So some of the fun stuff that we're including, we've got 3 different covers this time around that we are doing.
Yeah, the first cover there is the Alien Guard cover. That is by our main artist, Raheel Mosin. And as you can see, you have what looks like it could be a cylindrical spaceship that an alien is in, and he's got his little grabbers that are out there going after our kids in their spacesuits. Why the aliens ship is cylindrical, you could probably put 2 and 2 together, because it is inside a pinball machine. I'm going to skip over to cover C first. Cover C is another image by Raheel, which we saw earlier as the main image for the campaign. That's the To the Moon cover, where the imagination is endless and the kids are taking their wagon up to the moon. Great image, one that we've actually got some posters made of that as well, that we've had at live appearances as well. And that cover in the middle, Time Warp, is done by a absolute and total phenom. Not sure if in those scout boxes if you've gotten a copy of Soulstream in there yet, but Soulstream was written by Seda Wolf. She wrote it when she was 13 years old. She signed to Scout when she was 15, and has already released a graphic novel. And we did a show with her in DC, and her personality, her art style.
There you go.
I've got the card.
Nice. Yes.
This was in with issue 2. They put a couple of cards in, and I got that, and it was in the same box that they did the holofoil stake cover.
Yes. So Seda is the writer artist to do everything for Soulstream, and we contacted her and got her to do that variant cover for us, and we thought it came out great. We call it Time Warp because the kids are a little bit older in her version than what they are in the comic, but that also makes it where they're consistent. It's a mashup of Soulstream art and age group and our kids. So, we thought that was a really cool mashup that she did there. And if you scroll down just a little bit, we can't tell you a whole lot about it yet, but we do have a secret cover that's going to be involved in this campaign. Who's it by? What's it of? One thing we can say, we just revealed this to our backers, our current backers, a couple of hours ago, but we can reveal the name of the secret cover is Down the Drain. So we've got Alien Guard, Time Warp, To the Moon, and then the secret cover is called Down the Drain. We will be revealing who the artist of that is. It's an artist we've never worked with before. And we'll be then revealing the cover after that, but it is a super fun cover, and probably one of the funnest covers we've ever done, one of the funnest covers we've ever had. And so we can't wait to be able to show people that cover. They're just going to have to wait just a little bit longer to be able to feast their eyeballs on that cover.
Secrets, always secrets with you guys.
We
stickers.
People
on
their toes. Sticker sheet, as Matt has coined, which I will never be able to say fast nor slow, is the super sweet sticker sheet.
You just said it slow. You did it.
I had to pause because there's no way. When he said that, I thought I have to go on podcasts and say this thing, and I'm going to mess up every time and look like an idiot. But
Well, just say it with a little lisp. Go. It's the super sweet sticker
that's
sheet.
the thing there. The thing there that I just said with a bunch of S's. That's the die cut stickers of all our characters. It's a fun little addition that we
the thing and the stickies.
Yeah,
and
the thing and the thing. You know, the thing. You guys know. You guys got it. You see it there.
Yeah, stickers.
But the really fun
sticker sheet.
But we also have, because who doesn't like silly socks? I love crazy. I don't wear normal socks ever, except for when I run. But yeah, I've got crazy silly socks of all kinds. And so we thought, well, that would be kind of fun. We can't do Dragon Mask this time. We're not doing vinyl this time, but we've got to have that one kind of cool, fun item that people go, that's unique and different. I don't see that a lot of campaigns. So we've got the socks, and the vendor that is doing these for us, these are not dye sublimated. They're not going to feel like you're wearing cardboard on your feet. There's a nice, soft, comfortable socks with our characters on them.
Cool. I used to get like lots of socks in like the monthly mystery boxes.
Yeah, the loot crates.
The loot crates.
Yep.
I have like a 64 whatchamacallit size bin that's full of nothing but all my crap from loot crates for
I know.
4 years.
That's the problem, is you get a couple really cool things and a few things in it where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but okay.
Well, I went through, because my daughter is always in need of socks. She is the sock monster. She takes them off and throws them someplace, and they kind of walk off on their own. So last year I had saved up all the socks from like 3 years of loot crates and a couple other mystery boxes. And she got like this big giant thing of socks. Here you go. Here's socks. So she got like Star Wars socks and Deadpool socks and Wonder Woman socks and whatever they had in there. I'm like, here you go. Here's socks. And of course, So these are cool, because I see like a lot of people like them. Me, I have big giant feet, so none of the socks fit me because I'm like in a size 16 shoe. So
holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely am not going to be able to guarantee that a size 16 is going to work for that. But you know what? You never know. You never know.
But they will work for my daughters, and she will love them because they have cute little characters on them and animals. And she's in the animal drawing phase right now.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to have some prototypes of those done, so that way, because obviously you can tell that's just the artist rendition of what they're going to be. But we're going to have some prototypes of those done, so that way we can hopefully by the end of the campaign we can show people what they look like. If we can't, then we go from there. But we're going to do the best that we can. And
it's the silly version of you guys.
Yeah, which is the normal version of us, really.
Yeah,
for
pretty much. Yeah.
We told Raheel when he did these, we said, because if anybody's seen us at shows over the last probably year and a half or 2 years, we have slowly transitioned what we wear at shows to making sure that we are twinning, we are matching in some crazy odd way. Matt likes to say it's because you can't tell us apart. So we said, draw us however you want, as crazy as you want, but we've got to have matching clothes. And so Raheel went with the purple pants and the mustard yellow spats. That's what.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man.
Oh, and clown shoes for me too. Clown shoes.
Yeah, Steph got clown shoes.
Speaking of big feet.
Steph's feet are actually bigger than mine, which is absolutely hilarious in this art.
In the art, not in
real okay. I was gonna say
in the art.
Good
in the
Lord.
art. In the art.
Don't start spreading rumors.
In the art, her feet are bigger than mine, which is hilarious.
If I had bigger feet,
I've got this image of you running marathons in clown shoes.
That would be very weird. And then, of course, there we've got Raheel and Richard there along with us.
Nice. And of course, all the links to follow you guys are at the very bottom. I, of course, already know all of those by heart.
Well, thank you.
I will, because I've hit one of those at multiple times, being like, hey, Matt, what's going on with the album? How far behind is it? It's like,
Let me tell you.
Is it on one of those 5,000 ships stuck off the port of LA?
So let me tell you. As odd as it may sound, our albums have nothing to do with what's going on the port in LA. What it has to do with is the fact that the worldwide vinyl production market is just so incredibly behind that they get themselves behind every day. And I don't understand how they get more behind, but like when we ordered our vinyl, it was a 3 to 4 months that's how long it was going to take. Now it's like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing we can do about it. There has been some infuriating delays because they're just so far behind, but we knew going in that there was going to be a delay. We thought for sure that we'd have it by November, but that's why we've kept people up to speed in our emails and on the campaign updates that, hey, you know what? The production plants are just farther behind than what they had thought, what they had quoted us originally. And so,
it's not just our vendor. I collect vinyl movie soundtracks, and I just today got one in the mail that I've been waiting on that was supposed to be like late summer. And it was the same kind of deal. I would get an email. They were great. It wasn't their fault either. But they, I was getting emails, okay, it's now end of August. Now it's September. Now it's October. So that was kind of in an odd way made me feel better, because then I knew, okay, if this is happening to me on one that I ordered personally, that's what we have to tell people. It doesn't matter who would have done it.
Now we know that it's Steph's fault because she's ordering her soundtracks and bogging up the network.
It's all
come on.
Are you one of those people that wait for Mojo to drop a new release on their newsletter?
Yes, it's Mondo's. Yeah, Mondo. Yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm there on the drop on Wednesdays when it's one that I really want. I don't get them all, but yeah, that's absolutely me.
I have ordered a few from them. Being a former DJ for like 30 years before all of this, and then I became this. Vinyl has never gone out of style as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody's like, well, I'm a DJ too. Okay, well, here's my 1200s and here's some vinyl. What do you do? What? What? Huh? That's a turntable. These are platters. You put them on it and play it. Do you know how to do that? No, I go, yes, you just use your iPod. Go away.
Yeah, exactly.
you have no speaking voice here. I'm sorry. But I've noticed because another shop another comic shop that I deal with in Mass, he goes to like the local flea market all the time, and they set up tables for their shop there once in a while. And he goes there, and every weekend he's coming back with like 10 or 15 vinyl hunts.
Yeah.
And another big one I saw was Black Wax Cafe. I'm seeing ads for them like in my rotation, because I said vinyl like 3 weeks ago. So,
Oh yeah.
Alexa told Facebook, and Facebook said, "Oh, we've already stolen his information. Here you go." And they put it in there. And then I started looking through stuff, and then I started seeing where like Walmart and Target were carrying specialty vinyl.
They absolutely do. Yep.
I'm like, does this mean I got to buy my kid an album player?
Yeah, I actually did that for my daughter, and yeah, she's been getting some vinyl too. So it just all comes back around. That's what's cool about it. I think it's cool.
Well, the thing is too, one of the problems is that vinyl is and we talked about this the last time we were here, is that vinyl is a very manual process to make anything that's not just the typical black records.
Yeah.
And when vinyl started to become lesser of a medium back in the day, nobody was like, hey, let's go make $100,000 vinyl pressing machines anymore. So now that you've had the explosion in the last 4 years of the splatter vinyls and different things like that, and the demand has far exceeded the ability for them to produce them, or for them to even just get machinery made to be able to produce them. So that's why we're seeing the big demand far exceeding what the manufacturers are able to produce right now. So that's why even on the last campaign, we put the two different release dates on there. Hey, if you're getting the comic or you're getting the CD or any of those things, we'll have it out to you in August, which we did. The vinyls are going to be November, which now we're hoping to have the test pressings at the beginning of November, and sometime in January, hopefully, is when we're going to have the records. But to be honest, that's also part of the reason why we're doing the Misfits Clubhouse Kickstarter now, because we could have gone right into the Perilous Prospects for heirs if we wanted to, but we saw what was coming down the pike, and we decided that flipping these campaigns and doing Misfits Clubhouse now and then the Perilous Prospects at the turn of the year would be the better way to go about things. And one thing we can tell you about the Perilous Prospects is that it is coming out outstanding. The art is out of control good, really, really, really good. And we are super stoked to be able to get to that. So when we're done with this campaign, you're probably going to see a lot about the Perilous Prospects, because it's coming out so well. We're finally glad to be able to get to that part of the overall story in the Heirs universe.
But first, we want to get this campain funded.
Yeah. Well,
get it in
I'm glad you flipped them, because that way, everybody can get their vinyl in hand before the next part of that campaign comes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I might be caught up on the reading by then.
Yeah. We wanted to make sure that we want to do it right, and we hate having a delay of any kind that is, even if it is out of our control. But people have been understanding. I mean, you could Google, vinyl delays and find out. Read stuff about it. So it's not like we're making it up or anything. But yeah. But before all that, we have this awesome campaign with these great stories, and we have a lot more fun stories with the Misfits. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of the Misfits, and who knows what the future holds with where exactly they'll be and in what versions. But for sure, right now, we know that this issue is going to come out. We are going to have, as far as we know, a quick turnaround with it. And then, of course, you're going to be seeing them in Frontiers periodically 3-4 times a year.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Nice. That would be really cool to have like a quarterly publication like that.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea what they're doing, and the response so far with it, just with the first issue that came out of Frontiers, has been really great. And I think it's cool. It gives kids a chance to read, get into comics, but then they have little fun activities to do as well. So it kind of gets their brains going in different ways. So
yeah, it's a nice large magazine format.
Yeah,
72 pages. There's a lot in there, so it's something I'm gonna have to go check those out, because I have not gotten one of those. And
it's got the first appearance of Misfits Clubhouse in there, so that's, even though this is issue 1, the first appearance is in Frontiers 1. It's kind of like Superman. You got to go get a different issue to get his first appearance.
It's a scout thing, because usually with every new regular series that they release, the first appearance isn't in issue 1. It's in the ash can that predated 2 months back with like an 8-page mini story.
Yep. Well, yeah, we have the 4-page story. It's called "I Don't Want Any Asparagus" that is in Frontiers 1, and that was a fun story. That's where it all started, and everything kind of branches off from that silliness that's in that story. And we packed a ton into that little 4 pages. But like I said, the response was so good from it. We were able to debut it at AwesomeCon in DC, and then some of the other shows we've done, the response has been such that we're like, yep, we got to get these kids a full issue and then go from there.
Nice. So just going to take a quick look at the tiers. $6 or more, you can get the PDF, or as everybody's been calling PDFs, the Australian variant.
Isn't that the truth?
Man, it's like, well, we're allowing mail to go in, but it will cost you $72.50 to send one book there. I'm like,
and it just keeps going up. It's crazy.
It's like you're getting digital. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're surprisingly though, we do have some Aussies that just they I guess they're used to it, and so they will pay it. So but yeah. If I was them, I definitely do not blame any foreign customer for wanting to get just the PDF and not pay the outrageous shipping prices that are going on right
I
now.
know.
But
There's some people that are adamant. They're like, I don't read digital books. Shipping $70. Oh man, I'm gonna have to start reading digital books.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start getting into digital. Yep.
I get that all the time because I get releases from from Scout and other publishers to like review and PR and everything. So
yeah,
I'm used to it, and to me, I'm like, do I really like reading digital? Not so much, but the price is right. So
Yeah, I like not being broke.
yeah. Oh God, if only I knew that feeling. So we've got the main cover A for $10 or more, and that's the Alien Guard cover.
Yep, that's the one that has the alien in the pinball police car or alien guard car, whatever.
And $15 or more will get you cover B.
Cover B is the
from
Time Warp.
Wolf.
Yep. So that's going to be a limited edition cover there.
And $15 for cover C, which is the flying wagon from.
That's right, the To the Moon.
And there's nobody named Alice in here with a To the Moon cover. Or is there? There could be. And cover D. Partake.
Cover D. Yep, cover D is the secret cover that we have unveiled. That is the down the drain cover, and then the next 4 tiers after that are the same ones that we just saw. Or that one there's Jake, be a pal. You can get 2 copies of it, one for you, one for a friend, or one for you, one for your kid. But then we've also got variations where you've got those same 4 covers with the physical copy of Frontiers. We have the ones that we got from the label. So we're allowed to put those into this campaign. So we have those that you can get a cover plus Frontiers as well.
Oh, that's very cool. So here's your chance to get the first appearance of the Misfits Clubhouse plus issue 1.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Get you some. And then there's Partake in All.
So that's the tier.
We still want to be able to order or offer, our other titles. We've got them in PDF form or physical form, whichever you desire. But, if you're new, if you've never seen what we do and you say, I really like Misfits Clubhouse, but I want to hear more about this steampunk title and this medieval title. Well, we've got tiers for you for that.
$35 for everything in PDF form.
Which is actually probably a better deal than what we had on the last campaign, because we feel like when you've got more things stacking up, you have to give people a little bit better deal than what was the last time, because if you charge the cover price, basically what you would normally charge for those things, if you price yourself out of the market, you have to keep on, giving people a better deal to try and entice them to want to do that. Yeah.
And $46 or more Partake in All PDF and MP3. Oh, so yes. The album digitally. $49 or more. You can get all 4 of the Misfits covers, including the one that you haven't seen yet, but it's a mystery and it's something that they are excited about. So, as soon as you said the name of it, I'm envisioning something that I won't say, but I don't think it's it, but
I'm thinking probably not.
No. All the Misfits A, B, C, and D plus the Frontiers. So all 4 covers plus the first appearance in Frontiers. All Misfits, Frontiers, and stickers.
And stickers.
$79 or more, all the Misfits, Frontiers, and socks. Because, hey, it's winter. Keep your feet warm.
That's exactly right. I mean, even though a lot of our shows are in Florida and California, hey, it gets chilly in California. You're still going to want socks. Florida, not so much, but.
Oh, my God. I have family down in Florida, and once in a while they'll complain, My God, it's so cold out. What's the temperature? 65. I need a coat. I'm like, shut up.
I know. Yeah. I know better than to complain about cold to somebody up north like you.
$87. All 4 covers, Frontier stickers and socks.
Yes.
$119 is the Bookworm pack. So
that'll get you
all the covers.
all the covers, yes.
The PDF, Scoop Frontiers 1. All applicable physical stretch goals, digital stretch goals. Ears of Isildur, 268 pages. Nightmare Scenario, Special Ed comic. Tales from Nocturnia, complete legendary saga. I'm reading that one now. Get recognized on the thank you list. I always try to recognize myself on the thank you list. It's the first thing I look through. Where's my name? And then I can't find my name and realize, oh, they put in the podcast name. Oh, even better.
Yes, of course.
The bookworm and audiophile.
Yes.
So much stuff. Well,
so
you guys always
use with that one, and then of course we have our Draw Me In tiers, which we are known for and do, and yeah, this campaign's no exception. And we always make the Draw Me In options fun, because nobody wants to say, oh, Draw Me In is something very, very serious. And you know, it's a comic. People want to say they're in a comic, and this will be no exception. We promise that it will be something very fun and cool for anybody that does it to show off to somebody and say, hey, look, I'm in a comic.
And this first
Let me tell you, I just did a steampunk show this past weekend. It's a crowd that we are well known in, and had some people come up to the table and they were like, hey, so do you have that issue that Thurl's in, our friend Thurl Hupp? And they were talking about an issue that was made 3 years ago. We released it on Thanksgiving 3 years ago. And that's how impactful it is when people have been drawn in, that there's people coming up to the table. Hey, Thurl's my friend. Do you still have that thing from 3 years ago?
Oh, it's funny. Yeah. I mean, he got so many copies to give to his family just to show off, because how many people can say they were in a comic, you know? And so it's your opportunity. If you've always wanted to be a comic character, now you're not going to necessarily be, you know, Superman, you know, with a cape, you know, flying through the air, but you're going to be a comic character, and not everyone gets to say that in their lifetime. So, you know.
Hey, so let's look at that comment that William put up there. Akapad said, I follow stuff on Facebook and I had no idea she was involved in a book. It looks super fun.
Well, it is super fun.
Yeah. She's involved in this book, and she's involved in a medieval book, and she's involved in a steampunk book, and she's involved in a death metal album. Boom! Steph is involved. She's got her tentacles everywhere.
I like to stay busy, but I don't have tentacles. I'm sorry to disappoint everyone out there that just this is an all ages comic.
Opposed to popular spectators, she is a marathon runner, not the second coming of Cthulhu.
That's right. Yeah. Not. Well, we don't want to get my secret out and tell everybody.
Yeah. So this first Draw Me Into Misfits tier is $229 with more stuff than you can shake a stick at. There are still 4 spots out of the 6 available. So
yep, and we had one. Yeah, we had one other taken. So basically, 3 out of the 7 spots were almost at half there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then after that, the last 2 tiers, we always tell people, when you do a campaign, you have to make sure that you put every single thing that you can possibly get into a single tier into that campaign, because you could have somebody, you could be a publisher, and they may just have happened upon you for the first time, and you may have 25 titles out there, and they want to get everything. Make it easy for them to be able to pick it up. And you never know, you could have someone that picks up one of those gigantic packs. We've got all the different variant covers that we've ever done for Heirs of Isildur, all the different variant covers we did for Tales from Nocturnia, which is like, I think somewhere in the 39, 40, 42 different covers that we still have some in our stock.
Yeah.
You know, somebody may want to get them. You got to make sure we have those tiers out there for them.
people can't buy it if you don't give it as an option. And we actually have had people that have both with Kickstarter and at the booth at shows who have said, I like you guys, I want everything. So we're definitely not going to say no to that. And yeah, that's a bit of advice we give to anybody that's running a Kickstarter campaign is offer up your the stuff that you've done before for somebody. Because if they're there looking at your campaign, they like what you do, chances are they're going to like all the other things you do too, but they can't experience those if you don't give them the option to get them.
Yeah. There's one thing that is never in short supply on one of your campaigns, and that is the amount of tiers.
Well,
and if you don't see a tier for everything you want, you can DM either Steph or Matt.
You can actually
within an hour, they will DM you back and be like, "Okay, we've named it this. It's up there now."
That literally happened with the last campaign. We had somebody that asked for something, and Matt said, "You know what? We actually don't have that as a tier," which was crazy because I don't know. We had 30 something tiers. It was insane. And so he went up and created it because if one person wants it, then maybe somebody else does. But, there's also add-ons. So if you see a tier that you're interested in, but there's one or two other things that you want, there is the add-on option, but you can always message us. We're happy to answer questions or help you out. If there's something that you are confused about or you see that's not quite exactly what you wanted, just send us a DM or message us and we'll help you out. We'll hook you up. We want to make sure that everybody has everything they want.
Yeah, I got both the trades, the new book, and then I went to add-ons because I had to have another challenge coin. So I got the challenge coin, which, by the way, that socket makes a perfect place to hide my glow-in-the-dark guitar pick.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And follow me for more tips on collecting. And so I was like, cool. And now, like, one of the things I ask for like every campaign that I'm interested in is like, do you guys have a challenge coin?
Well, yeah, and I actually really love challenge coins now that we've done them, and we do have a lot of people that come up to the booth that specifically collect them. I didn't know that was a thing that people collect, but we've had people that have come up and specifically just said that's what I want because I collect them and I get every single one of them. A lot of ex-military people collect them, which makes sense, of course. Matt is a soccer ref, and that is the coin that he uses for the coin toss.
I will tell you though, those coins, as you just showed, those coins are heavy. They are heavy duty coins. Mm-hmm. Those things are not good to have in your shorts when you're running up and down the soccer field because they keep on pulling your shorts down because they're so heavy. But it's a good problem to have. But they're definitely not going to be the end of challenge coins for us. We do have some ideas about challenge coins that we may do in the future, but just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But it's definitely something that has been discussed on multiple levels. So we'll see what happens with those in the future.
Well, I've got your challenge coin. I've got Brian Polito's challenge coin for the 25th. I've got not in yet, but a recent campaign that I backed was Mavericks, which is a mech, kind of like a mech warrior. Book off Indiegogo. They were on Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And they have a challenge coin. And I thought yours was loud when it dropped and hit the table. I'm challenging you to now make a bigger challenge coin because their challenge coin, I think, might weigh a little bit more.
Challenge accepted.
Wait, hey, we're making challenge coins, not challenge plates, okay?
Yeah.
No.
Not challenge discus.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't need anything that I could throw. Well, I could throw those, but then I'd have to go looking for them. If it's too big, I might be tempted. But this is those are all the tiers that are available. Like we said, if you have questions, if you need help with anything, let us know. Campaign is a little bit shorter, just slightly shorter than some of the other ones that we've done. 18 days to go. November 7th is our last day. And they're almost at goal. A little over $500 to go.
And you know how we are with us getting to that minimum funding level is where the fun starts. The last campaign we had Michael Isildur, the main character, had his top hat, and instead of having a graph to show you where we were going with the stretch goals, we just made his top hat continue to grow and continue to grow and continue to grow. And we always try to make sure that those that get in early, that there's going to be benefits for that. Right now, I think there's only about 5 left for physical backers that get in. In the first 40 physical backers, there's the Misfits Clubhouse die cut version of their wagon.
And in their wagon.
Yep. So the first 40 get one of those added into their pack for free. And I think,
Nice.
like I said, I think we only have like 5 left of those. But then once we get past that initial funding goal level, we always find ways to be able to add stuff back in. I know, William, you've done some other campaigns with us. You've seen there's trading cards that we've done and other things that we do, other incentives that we do, so that way you're like, hey, man, even if I just got the entry-level single issue, that there's a lot of other things that I could get added into my pack. You got the glow-in-the-dark guitar pick in the last one. You know,
some very shiny, pretty cards.
Yeah, probably not going to be as out of control and as insane as what we've done in other campaigns, because this is a more simple, more straightforward campaign. But we definitely have got some ideas for the things that are going to happen to stretch goals. But the way that we always roll is we don't talk about what the stretch goals are going to be until we get there, and then once we get there, we'll talk about what you get at that first tier, and then where the next tier is after that. But we don't like to start putting out, hey, here's what all these things are going to be, because I feel like then you're kind of putting the cart before the horse.
Or the wagon before the sloth.
To dump. Ching.
We promise that it'll be good stuff, though. We just we're trying to get.
I think it would be easier to throw the wagon before the sloth.
Yeah.
Just saying.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but Slothy has been back here hanging out.
Slothy's hanging out there.
He's hanging out in his
now.
He's hanging out in his.
Oh yeah. I saw your poster with him. I'm like,
Slothy is well traveled. You know, he went to DC with us. He went to Matt did a steampunk show in Mount Dora, Florida last weekend. Slothy was there, so Slothy gets around. He's been at a few shows with us now.
Yeah, he went down to we did PalmCon in West Palm Beach.
Yeah, he's been down to South Florida.
He traveled down to PalmCon with us. So
how Slothy will travel.
And I don't know if you saw this, but he definitely has got some custom goggles on too. So our guys over at GB Leatherworks,
our leather makers.
All of our leather work. This is actually a top hat that they made as well.
Yes,
but they have little sloth-sized goggles. So we thought that was kind of cool. They let us borrow those things, or let Slothy basically have those after we did the show this weekend. And so we need to give them a shout out because that's their leather work. So if you ever need cool custom leather work, let us know and we can.
Those are the guys. Yes,
that's
we
right.
can get you in touch with them.
It's the I know a guy. I got a guy for this. I got a guy for that.
We've had a lot of awesome vendors who've done some great stuff for us. So we've got woodworkers, leather workers. We do it all.
I know somebody that's got a guy for the patches. I know somebody else.
Yeah.
I know somebody else that's got the metal the metal prints.
Yes. Yeah. We try to have our hands in as many pots as far as merch goes as possible. So we'll
you guys switch it up all the time. So
try, yeah.
Well, we did this and this last time, so let's try this and this because
it's finding the right balance between giving people what they expect from us, which are the dry me ins, the kind of wild and crazy, the fun, unique, and trying to think of something different so that it's not just there they go again with their they did this last time, now they're doing it again, and then it's not exciting. So it's finding the right balance, which we feel like we've done. That's why we've got the socks and, a couple of the other fun options. And we've got some, I really love the covers that we've done with this campaign, and the artists that we worked with were a blast. So, there's some collectability there for sure.
Yeah, I really like the cover that Sadia did. That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So 18 days to go. We're doing the slow climb up the hill, and we're almost there. But we would appreciate any and all support that you guys could give us.
Yeah, and if you guys are out there wondering, like, hey, you know what? I'm really into the other stuff you guys have done, the dragons and the death and the killing, all that kind of stuff. Well, obviously, you're not going to see that stuff in this issue.
No.
But everybody, no matter what level you're on, there's not one person out there that's allergic to laughing. Everybody likes to laugh. Everybody likes to have fun. And, we always say, characters people can relate to and universes people want to escape into. And that's the same thing that the Misfits want to do. They create their own universes that they can escape into from time to time. And, it's definitely not something where, people hear all ages, they hear kids book and they think, oh, this is going to be like Blue's Clues. Not at all. That's not what we do. We do stuff that everybody can get into. Everybody's going to have fun with. And everybody's going to be able to enjoy the stories that are in there. They're just going to enjoy it in a different way than they enjoy some of the other things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I still read Archie and the old Harvey Toons books in my collection, pick up a Casper now and then.
Exactly.
And, I can't tell you how many times I've read, the Mighty Heroes issue 1, because that was the only reason I watched that cartoon was to see the Mighty Heroes. But I digress. This is quote unquote a funny book because it's fun.
That's exactly right. It's where the term came
right.
from, and we're completely okay with that.
It was a term that I used to get mad at my mother when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah,
these are comic books. This is serious stuff.
There's nothing funny about this.
And it's still serious. Don't make fun of Batman. And now exactly. I make fun of Batman all the time. But anyhow, this is this looks very cool. We will keep spreading the word. This will go up on the podcast tonight, and I of course will link you guys in all the posts as soon as it clears. As soon as it clears my Spotify, I'll link it out with the Spotify links.
Sounds good. Thank you.
This looks like a lot of fun and something I hope I can get in on. And I think
we hope so too.
We're so close to the end of the month. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This will still be, I can still get this in the first. So yay.
Yep. We're going until November 7th. So you have time.
Yep. And remember, it's just like every other Kickstarter campaign where you don't get billed until the very end.
Yes.
So you want to get in, get yourself one.
You won't get charged.
Oh, so I can, that's right.
You want to get in, yourself one of these things?
I've been buying so much from Indiegogo
that
I'm used to losing my money right away.
Exactly.
Kind of like when I go to the casino. My money's gone, and then I can go enjoy the show.
And the sooner that you pledge, the sooner we can get to those stretch goals, and you get the early bird perks. So you want to get in as quick as you can, and then of course you won't get charged until the 7th.
And I want to get the funny thing that Matt keeps flashing up on the screen.
Right.
Not Matt. I don't get Matt. Just
I was going to say,
Sloppy. I don't know how he would ship himself from Florida.
What's going on, William? Hope everything's okay over there.
It'd be a big box. You'd get out of the box and be like, quick, send me back. It's cold here.
Too many Boston sports teams up there.
Oh, God. Yeah, looks like it might be the Red Sox and the Braves possibly in the World Series.
I think so.
I want to thank you guys for coming on and hanging out.
Yes.
And I will be reading more of the prior mentioned projects and get through that, and we will keep sharing. I will keep sharing this out on Twitter and Facebook and every place else.
We appreciate it very much. We appreciate everybody else's support and for tuning in to see us talk about our new series here. Yeah,
once you're done pledging, feel free to go over to our website where we're making sure to have links. Steph has been doing a lot of movie reviews recently. She's had a lot of horror movie reviews and articles in that realm. She just did one for Disney Channel, and she just did another one for Netflix, which was through Creepy Kingdom. And that's super awesome that she's getting this backstage access to these movies before they come out. We also, if you are someone that is a fan of the music of Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturnia, we're doing some articles called Lyrical Lookin'. We've got the first one posted for The Perilous Prospects of Shadow's Haven, where we take a really deep dive into the lore behind the song. And we're going to be doing those as often as we can. to really give a deeper dive into what's there and into the universe that's there in Heirs of Isildur, especially leading up to the Perilous Prospects that's going to happen next year. So that way, the people that really want to just dig as deep as they can and really understand all the little nuances have an opportunity to do that.
Get more behind the music.
Yes.
Remember when they used to do those behind
Absolutely.
the music?
Yeah, behind the music. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Remember when MTV played music? Oh, so long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
So everybody, go check out Misfits Clubhouse #1. Get you some shenanigans and some stickers and some socks, and get them up to goals so they can come back and talk about stretch goals. And
yes, absolutely.
It's only $533 away from hitting goals. So close. It's only a red flyer away.
Yes. So thank you guys. Thanks, William, for having us on again. We appreciate it. Giving us the opportunity to step on this platform and talk about what we do.
Very cool. I will talk to you guys very soon. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Creators Outlet. We'll be back tomorrow night with our special guest, Rich Davis from Cult of Dracula. Until then, peace, love, and read some comic books, would you?
See it.